What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Official Shelton. And I'm back with another video. So I posted on my story again, and I asked people, I said, what y'all want? What type of content y'all like? And y'all really starting to really like these story times I see. But I need some content. I need some more content to post. But the one thing that I did ask on my story was if y'all wanted the story time between me and how my homeboy smashed my girl, some gaming content, or a Friday vlog. Didn't go to school. So, like I said, either way, y'all was gonna get this story time. And I hope y'all like the hair. You know what I'm saying? I got my hair done, you know? Right, instead of rocking the fro, I got my hair done, you know, got the hair cut and a whole bunch. So, hope y'all messing with it. So this story takes place 8th grade. Right, and so, little backstory. Me and this girl, we've been dating for about 5 months. So, it's not serious, but we getting there, you know what I'm saying? We getting there. And so, basically, like I said, we were dating for like 5 months. And everything was going smooth. Like, we was cool. There was no problems. There was no nothing. Like, everything was fine. And like I said, me and this time, I know some of y'all already got acquainted with Jeremiah, Nehemiah. Nah, it wasn't none of them. This was my childhood dog, man. We're not cool after this, of course, because, no. But, childhood dog James. We all went to Nystrom together. And so he ended up coming to one of the basketball games. And so that's where things kind of started. So we have a basketball game. And since, you know, we have a basketball game, we're warming up, we're in layup lines, you know, we practicing and things like that. I thought I could dunk in 8th grade, and I went back and looked at a video and see that I'm really looking like I can't jump, like I really can't. And so, like I said, my girl was there at the time, and my mama was there, my pops was there, like a bunch of my peoples was there. And so the game starts. Boom, right? So I'm balling. I think it's the best game I've ever had. First time, straight tip off, I get the ball, fast break late. Cool, you know what I'm saying? First 2 points. Then, like I said, I end up getting the ball stripped from me next 2 possessions because they shot, they made it. I get the ball stripped from me. So, boom, they scored, right? And so, basically, that whole game, I was pretty much somewhat on fire. And what I can say is I believe that game I ended with 30, and that was my first 30-point game, like at the time. And so I was hyped. I had 30 points, so I'm over there, head up high, chest up high, everything. And so boom, James comes, he see me, he dap me up. Okay, boy, I see you. You out here doing your thing. You out here balling. Your boy got 30, but you know, since we boys, you know, we talk shit. So you over there talking about something, but you'll never be a better hooper than me. I said, nigga, you're tripping. I just came off a 30-point game. You're wild. And so, Bay came over. So I'm sweaty as hell. Came over, give me big hug. I'm just like, ooh, okay. I'm like, you know I'm sweaty, right? She's like, I don't care. My Bay just scored 30, and the team walking out. And so she was yelling at the other team, talking about, my Bay just scored 30 on y'all. You suck. I'm just like, dang. And so James was like, oh, who is this? You ain't never introduced me to her. I ain't never seen who this was. So who this? And so I told him, I said, this right here is Bay. This Bay. Let me see what kind of initial I'll give her. We'll give her A. Like this A right here. He was like, ooh, nice to meet you, A. My name's James. And he was like, Shelton, you definitely did it this time. You pulled you somebody. Red flag number one, you're my boy. Why you examining what I got? Super hard. And so she was like, thank you. You know, they start talking. She was laughing at the jokes and things like that. We was all just joking. Like I said, I'm not insecure. I understand that's my homeboy. I'm not really thinking too much of it. I should have. And so, like I said, I sit here and you know, after the game, I get in the car with my mom. We go out to eat. I had 30 points. And so, we out to eat. Bay went home. James, he went out to eat with us. He asking me questions at the table. He like, hey, yo, how long y'all been together? So I'm like, you know, we've been together 5 months. You know what I'm saying? We've been cool. He was like, oh, okay, cool. He was like, how'd y'all meet? You know what I'm saying? And my mama being nosy, she was like, what you talking about? I said, how long we meet? And she said, what you talking about? And James basically like, oh, your mama don't know? I'm like, no, she don't know. I date really undercover, so I had to tell my mom and James. Basically, I told the whole table. And so I'm like, yeah, we've been dating for 5 months, and everybody was kind of surprised. Like, whoa, okay, like, y'all dating again? Oh, okay, cool. Because I had took a break from dating. And it was like, yeah. And I'm like, oh, okay. It was like, well, you love her? I said, of course I do. You know what I'm saying? I love her. I love her. And so, boom. We just dope. Like, that whole time was cool. I get home. I'm on the game, playing a little bit. And then all of a sudden, my phone rings. It's a call from my pops. My pops is like, hey, yo, you had a good game. Keep doing what you're doing out there. I'm like, hey, I appreciate you, Dad. And he was like, yeah, no problem. I just had to call and let you know that I'm proud of you. I'm like, thanks, Pops. And, you know, that kind of meant a lot to me. So I'm just like, all right, you know, he was like, and don't forget, you still ugly as fuck. I'm like, damn. Said, you know what? I could be ugly, but at least I scored 30. So I didn't really trip, you know what I'm saying? And then he started laughing. He was like, all right, boy. I said, all right. Got off the phone with my pop. Bay called me. And I'm sitting here and I'm like, what's good with Bay? I'm like, oh, you miss me? Because you called me. I just seen you not too long ago. She was like, of course I missed you. She was like, and why you ain't never told me about your nigga James? I said, wait a minute. In my mind now, I'm like, okay. I'm starting to get just a little suspicious, just a little bit. And so, like I said, it was just like, all right, let me assess my situation. So we talking, and I'm just like, oh, well, you know, nobody really knows that, you know, like we're dating because I don't tell everybody my business like that. She was like, oh, well, okay. She was like, well, James is really nice. She's like, your mom is really nice as well. I was like, well, you know, they're my folks, like they're my peoples, and they mess with me. So, you know, whoever, you know, doing good by me, they do good by. And she was like, oh, okay, I mess with that. I was like, yeah. And then after she said, after she said, yeah, like I said, we were still on the phone, and I was on the game. I had set the phone up. You know how niggas do. We be on like 2K. We was on the game. We put the phone up. We be sitting there in the game. She be right there. We be sitting up in the game, and she be annoyed because we be paying all our attention to the game. Well, that's how it was. And I'm not even gonna lie to you. I kind of felt a little bad because she told me to get off the game. I told her I didn't want to, and so she ended up that night giving me a shot. And boy, when I tell you I got off my game, I got off my game quick. She said, oh, I guess you're not gonna get the tickets to the show. I said, what, huh? What show? And boom, I get flashed. She showed me the Jiggo Bitties. I said, God. I'm like, Jesus. Eating a burger with no honey mustard. 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 I'm just like, jeez. Then she get in the shower. She's like, oh, it's more where that came from. But I said, I expect you to stay off that game. I was like, all right, cool. I'm like, you gonna take me in the shower with you? And she brought that phone in that shower, boy. And so I saw Good Show. Seeing titties, the jiggle bitties. And I'm really not even a jiggle bitty type guy. I like butt. I'm a butt man. I don't eat butt. I don't put my face in butt. But I like butt. I like butt. And so she got out the shower. I was sitting there laying down, and you know, like I said, things got wild. I mean, I ended up pulling my and she was looking at it. She was doing her thing on the phone. I was doing my thing on the phone. You know, I can't say too much because, you know, YouTube I'm not even monetized yet. They gonna try to demonetize me. They gonna try to take my video down. But yeah, so we sat here. We was on the phone. We was doing all right. We was doing what we do best. And I'm just sitting there. I'm like, okay. All right, we good. We good. Right? So then we end up going to sleep. Next day. Right? Now, mind you, James lives 3 blocks away from the school. And so what I mean by 3 blocks away from the school, I literally mean he's walking distance from the school. So everything is cool. I come to school, right? I'm ready, and I don't see my girl. I'm like, usually she comes to school every day. So I'm like, I don't know what's going on. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Like, you know what I'm saying? She could be sick. She could not be feeling good. You know what I'm saying? It could be something. So I'm like, oh, okay, cool. And so I hit James, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, James ain't answering because, you know, usually we be texting throughout the day. You know, James ain't answering. I'm just like, oh, okay, cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, not thinking nothing of it. And so I'm over here too busy in my head because on the announcement they said, you know what I'm talking about, that they announced you know, that we won for the basketball team. They announced that, you know, I had 30 points and I had the most points. So, you know, everybody in my class was cheering. And I'm just, you know what I'm saying? I'm happy. I'm literally happy. And so, you know, I get praised for the day. Fast forward to lunch, I look and I'm like, I look at my phone. I still don't got no text from James. And at this point, I had texted Egg, but I ain't got no response. So I'm looking and I'm just like, what's going on? Like, Bae usually texts me, let me know what be going on. What's wrong now? I don't know. And so I'm kind of concerned. And so, you know, I double text and be like, hey, you know, Bae, you okay? What's going on? Do you need something? And I didn't get no reply. So I'm like, oh, okay, cool. At this point, I didn't even try texting James back. Or I tried to double text James. And so I'm just like, oh, okay, it is what it is. So I get into class. I check my phone. And I had accidentally hit the message. I see that I'm left on red. That's a red flag. And so I'm like, oh, I'm left on red. So my first initial thought was to go ahead and go off in the messages, but I didn't do that. So, like I said, and I haven't heard from James, so I'm just like, okay, like, you know what I'm saying? Whatever's going on, I don't like it. Like I said, I'm already in my head at this point. I'm thinking of every possible option. But the possible option of them messing with each other, it didn't cross my mind. So I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I'm sitting here, and we get out of school. 3:15 hit, we out. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I said, I'm gonna stop by James' house, because he ain't hit me back. I ain't heard from him. You know what I'm saying? So, hitting back, And, you know, I'm that type of person to where, like I said, like, I'm cool with his moms. I'm cool with him. I'm cool with his pops. Like, I didn't have to literally knock on the door. I could walk in the house, like, as if I lived there. So, you know what I'm saying? Boom. The door is locked. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. You know what I'm saying? Because usually sometimes the door be unlocked. And so I knock on the door, and basically my play nephew. So I just say I call him my nephew because I don't do the play shit. My nephew, he came up and he opened the door. He was like, yeah. I'm like, oh, like, what's going on? I'm like, you here by yourself? Like, you know, usually I'm like, nobody leave you here by yourself, so what's going on? He's like, oh, I'm not here by myself. I'm here with James. I'm like, that's funny. I'm like, James hasn't answered my text messages. Like, has he been here all day? He was like, yeah. I'm like, can you open the door for me? He was like, yeah, okay, I got you. So he opened the door. He let me in the house. I said, so what's going on? Like, I text James. James ain't answer. He ain't hit me back. He ain't do nothing. He was like, well, he's been back there with this girl for a minute, almost all day, ever since mom left. Or he said ever since Granny left. I'm sorry. Yeah, ever since Granny left. I said, what? Ever since what? He was like, yeah, you know, yeah, they just been back there. I was just like, oh, okay. I'm like, I'm like, all right, we're gonna see, right? So I'm sitting here, and I'm like, all right. I had to go to the bathroom, so I used the bathroom. As I'm using the bathroom, I hear noise. And we all know what type of noise we be hearing. Like, this is like when you up late at night and you be hearing y'all parents. Y'all don't be hearing y'all parents? Shit, I do. Anyway, yeah, you be hearing your parents, so I'm just like, wait, what? So I'm like, oh, okay, he getting something. He getting it. I'm like, all right, I'm hyping him. I'm like, all right, he getting him something. He getting him something. But that moan sound a little familiar. So I go and I look and I'm like, okay, what's going on? And so I open the door. And as I open the door, I see A and James. Dog, when I tell you I was hurt. I was hurt. This man said, no hard feelings, bro. She chose up. And the cold part about it was that she sat there in my face and told me it's not what it looked like. As I see her, ass in the air, still getting fucked by my guy. And they have not stopped, even though I'm in the room. And so, I didn't fight nobody. I didn't do anything. I simply told my nephew, I said, I'm pretty sure this is the last time you'll be seeing me, but I love you, little dude. And I walked off. I was hurt. I was extremely hurt. I felt every type of way that you could possibly feel. And I didn't like it. I ended up going home, and A sends me a text message trying to apologize and said, oh, it's not what it looks like. You know, me and James, there's nothing going on between us. The same bullshit that any female would pull if she was in that situation. So I'm sitting there, I'm like, bro, you ain't finna lie to me. You not gonna lie to me. And I didn't text back. I just left her undelivered. But I wouldn't be me if I wasn't petty. She had an older sister. her older sister, I found out, caught feelings for me. And I found out through Jeremiah at the school, because he wanted to mess with her. And so I'm like, well, okay, cool, she wants your boy. I said, that's perfect. Action. So I left that.